At a recent conference in Manchester about apprenticeships, Unite Union Learning reps heard from the union, from Cogent, who are the Sector Skills Council for Science-Based Industries, and special guest speaker Sir Alex Ferguson, himself a former apprentice.
My belief is this: if you look at Manchester United, we've been running apprenticeships since I went to the club. And out of that apprenticeship scheme, I shouldn't need to tell you, Giggs, Beckham, Scholes, all these. And what I get out of that, I just don't get out quality for all the skills we taught them. I get loyalty. I get incredible loyalty out of that. And I think employers should look at that part.
At a time where many are saying the government do not have a plan for growth, they all spoke about the need to invest in genuine apprenticeships for young people to secure the long-term future of UK manufacturing and to help the economy grow.
Our strapline is real jobs for real apprentices, and that was something that we discussed with Tom and Tony right at the outset of looking at how we were going to put this programme together and making sure that we are actually focused on getting real jobs for those apprentices. I have to say, in the news recently there's been, or some of the websites from other training providers have advertised that they can hire an apprentice for anything from 3 days to a year, which is absolutely not what we're about. We've made it very clear to employers that we place no barriers in the way of an employer actually taking on that apprentice themselves at any stage. There's no financial barrier to them, and the conditions of paying conditions are very clearly flagged up at the beginning of the contract, so the apprentice and the employer are very clear about that. The employer is encouraged to offer a job role for that apprentice at the end of their apprenticeship, and if there's anything that prevents that employer taking that apprentice on, and it would have to be something that prevented them taking the apprentice on, then we would support that apprentice to actually find another position in another employer throughout the science-based sector.
Well, I started my apprenticeship as soon as I left school, and I've done it for 4 years, and I've been recently taken on as an employer of SABIC from May. And I think that the benefits of an apprenticeship are, obviously, you don't have the debt from university, and as what was mentioned earlier on, you can get the hands-on training, and then you can go to university as well, so you win both ways, and also you're earning money as well from like day one. It's definitely worth doing. Like, a lot of my friends wanted to do college and university because they hadn't been told any other really, and for my apprenticeship I didn't find out about apprenticeships till after I left secondary school, and after then it could be too late, because if you haven't chosen science, technology, engineering subjects, they won't have you in the apprenticeship because you haven't got the grades you need.
There's been a number of contributions from employers who've reinforced the point that without a steady stream of skilled apprentices coming through in manufacturing, we're going to end up with a skills shortage. That point was made by one of the speakers this morning from the chemicals industry. They're concerned that there could be a skills shortage. So it's vitally important that manufacturing looks at their training needs for the future and starts investing in skilled apprenticeships. I've argued this morning that we would prefer the German-style system of vocational training, where apprentices come into some of the key companies, where there's a constant stream of skilled apprentices coming through to ensure that there's not only a skill shortage, avoid a skill shortage, but importantly, as we know, and as I said this morning, apprentices help with productivity, they help with workplace turnover of staff. There's any number of reasons why companies should consider taking on apprentices and doing a proper skilled apprenticeship.
Tradesmen, the skills you learn, it was just a 5-year apprenticeship, at 5 years as an apprentice and 1 year as a journeyman. And in that time, the electrician department, the milling, the grinding, the turning, the joint, the carpentry, every aspect of what you would say was a rounded apprenticeship as a toolmaker. And that, you take your skills, you can go anywhere. That.
I think we need to look at that part where we start looking at young people and encourage them and give them opportunity. And I think from an employer's point of view, the very point I make is absolutely valid. Loyalty, that's one thing you'll get. And you can develop the skills. We're always going to need plumbers, we're always going to need electricians, we're always going to need carpenters. Fact of life. So why should we allow it to go outside the country? we can develop our youth to be for these skilled jobs quite easily. All we need is the impetus, the drive, and the support for the government. There's no question about that. I'll give you my support in that without doubt, as I've been doing for the last couple of years, because I think it's a very, very important issue in our country today. So thank you for the attention.